Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Mr. Kabwin Suprai. I just want to share with us today some very deep thoughts that have been running through my mind as a young person and most importantly as a young African. My big question is, do we still dream? Can we even dream? What happened to our dreams? What happened to all the fantasies, if I may call them, we had when we were growing up? As a normal young child, I believe every other child, when growing up, we used to have this large arsenal of dream sets that we had kept for us. Some would say, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a captain in the ship, I want to travel the world, I want to go to this particular school, I want to be this, I want to be that. But I've just been thinking, like, what happened to those dreams? I'm 20. What do you want to be? Let's just say, well, you get 25. What do you want to be? What do you want to be with your life? You know, we keep making excuses. Well, I come from a background, I come from a dysfunctional background. We didn't have the right support. My family does not have the right money. I'm born in Africa. I mean, we get these excuses all the time. All the time. And it has just put me in a position to keep asking myself, like, can we even dare to dream? What's a functional family and what's a dysfunctional family? What does it take? Do we have the right tools? Do we have the right strategies? Do we have the right mentorship? What happened to our dream? The whole thing has just had my head bangling, and I said, look, I want to make it a personal mission to make people dream again. You come across 50 years and 60 years old men and women, our fathers, some grandfathers, and you see a very big regret in their life. Why? Because they gave up on their dreams. They betrayed their dreams. I want to believe, in my own personal opinion, that everyone can make their dream become a reality. And when we talk of dream, we are looking at that bigger picture of self. Because guess what? Our dream models everything we do in our lives. Our dream models what we choose to study in school. Our dream models the friends we keep around us, what we expose ourselves into. Our dream keeps us ahead. It makes us steadfast. It keeps us focused. But we realize that when we navigate through the journey of life without a specific bigger picture of our life, we settle for less. We settle for what society gives us. We don't have the courage to say, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what I believe in, and this is what my life is meant to be. Having come this far in my own little journey of life, I realized that our destiny is in our hands. We are the architects, we are the builder, and we are the molder of our destiny. Long life may be a gift, but a prosperous life is our gift to our community, to humanity, and to the world that we came in. We need to be, as young people, with a mindset to make our contribution. It's true, as Africans, our environment alone, with the way the picture has been painted, it seems to be a limiting factor. But I want to challenge us that rather than looking at things from that perspective, we should begin to look at things as young people like, I am here because I have a mission. I am here because my voice can count. I am here because I can make a contribution. I am here because I can change the narrative. Real fulfillment does not come from utility values. It comes from relationship values. It comes from being able to stand up, touch up the life of another person, and make them have a sense of meaning. Some of us are parents that we have our kids live our dream, our unfulfilled dream. A father who wanted to be a medical doctor in the younger days of his life and failed, abandoned that dream, and now has a son or a daughter and say, look, young man or young woman, you will become a medical doctor. Not minding the desires of his or her heart. And as a result, we go through that route of not being able to live our dream. I am just here to encourage somebody out there to say, look, that dream can be picked up from where it has been left. It can be dusted and it can be made whole once again. Oftentimes when we see people doing what our heart longed for, we have that guilt inside of us. We might just watch a movie and be like, oh, that was supposed to be me. Why? Because I dream of being an actor. You see someone who had traveled and takes snapshots showing the world. Oh, I wanted to explore the world. You see someone graduating from an institution, I'd be like, I wanted to further my academic path. We've just settled and we give ourselves all these excuses. We need to pay bills. I am now married. I have 2 children. I have 4 children. We get our life all twisted with the daily realities and we give up on our dreams. But who told us you can't be a parent and still pursue your dream? No matter how silly the dream might sound to others, but that's a longing in our hearts. That is what keeps us awake at night. That is what, each time we come across someone doing that, we resonate so personal with that. That is what, if we felt like we could never fail, of course we would choose that path or want to walk through that. But it's sad enough that we have given up on our dreams. Some of us is our academic background. Probably by the time we have certain examination scores, by default it derails us to take other paths. Let's take a practical example. For someone who wanted to be a civil engineer, you went through your O levels and probably advanced levels, you didn't have physics or probably mathematics, as those are subjects that are required for you to enroll on that path. What do? We end up choosing whatever the school gives us or whatever society gives us, and we end up reading completely different things away from our path. But I just want to believe that as adults, we should get to that realization where we tell ourselves like, all right, I came from this family. We have no control as to which family God brings us into. I came from this environment. Sure, as a child, we can't say where our parents should grow us up from. You say, oh, we didn't have the necessary finances. Trust me, our parents did the best to raise up and give us the very basics of life. But we should get to that point as adults where we ask ourselves like, this is where I'm coming from. This is where I am. This is my reality. But what am I doing about it? What am I going to do about it? What are those changes I need to make in my personal character to become a wholeness, an embodiment of the person that I dreamt of some 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago as the younger version of myself? What are the skill sets I need to acquire to navigate through this journey of life with all its challenges and all the circumstances that life throws at us? Who are those I need to get close to seek mentorship, to get relevant information that can model me and shape me into the person that I want to be? I think that we owe all of that to ourselves. Our parents, our environment, our upbringing has done their part. But as we grow older, we can't keep living life to chance. We need to wake up to that day and say, look, I have done all of this, I am coming from all of this, but this is that day I take my destiny into my hand. It might require that we begin to learn and we begin to unlearn and we learn some new things. We begin to build a vision of self. We look at ourselves in the mirror and we look at a bigger version. It's us against that man in the mirror. That's our greatest competitor. Because when you say, yes, I'm getting old, the man says, yes, indeed, you're old. When you say, oh, I feel so young today, so, oh, I feel so young today. For some of us, we've never summoned the courage to look back at those desires, those longings of our heart, those amazing moments that we had and we felt alive. We have let the daily realities of life consume us so much that we don't even dare to dream again. For some of us, we don't even have the courage to say, oh, when I was growing up, I had a very interesting conversation one time with my mom, and she revealed some things to me that really put me in a position where I felt so much disappointed. One time I asked her, like, Mom, wait, you know big age game? Like, when you were growing up, what was that picture? And for the first time in my so many years here on earth and being a son, and she really revealed some very deep insights to me. She told me how she planned to be a nurse. That when she was growing up in that community, when they had those nurses, the ladies dressed in nice gowns came and they were doing voluntary services, attending to less privileged. She fell in love with that career. And then I asked her then, Mommy, where to stop you? She gave the normal popular answer of all African women. Not be the men who now. So you see, a lot of parents give up their life because they have children. And now what happens? They set a bar of expectations from these children because their expectation is they want these children to become and live their unfulfilled life. Unlived life, I beg your pardon. But that's not supposed to be it. We can still be parents and still fulfill our dream. We can still be parents and still manage to strike a balance. Because why? Our parenting does well for our children, but there is a portion of our own lives as individuals that we have to live up to. We should be able to set goals for our lives, personal development goals. It's not shock to know that we have young people that we come across them on a day-to-day basis that have no footprint, no roadmap of where they are with your life and where they are going to. What would we expect from someone like that? Of course, they will go through when life hits us back and forth. We give up because we don't have a course. We don't have a path. We don't have something to take us back and say, okay, now I'm being distracted. Now this is where I am, but I need this to take me to this. We don't have all those, visual tool sets that we have that can always guide us back and bring us when we derail. We expose ourselves to any kind of thing, any kind of material. Now there's social media. Some of us spend hours and hours just browsing through things. We get all these informations in our head. We read a lot, but the question is, are we reading the necessary materials? We spend a lot of time on media. Are we solving the necessary materials? Someone will activate the data for 100 francs, 100 megabytes, and goes and watch TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and watching all these other people. Another same person will activate 100 megabytes and go on YouTube, try to learn about personal development, learn a new skill set. And the results cannot be the same. It can never be the same. I just want to encourage all of us to, sit and have a time to ourselves. Ask ourselves some very important questions. Where am I coming from? What are the realities of my life? What was my childhood like? What were the goals, the dreams, the ambitions that I had while growing up? Push it a little bit further. Let's ask ourselves, where am I right now with life? For some of us, we could be at the stage of trying to complete with our academics. For some of us, we may have been done with our academics. We are looking forward to start a family. For some of us, we may have already established a family. We have a kid, 1 or 2 children, 3, 4. For some of us, we have become parents and grandparents. But now the big question I want all of us to pay attention to is, am I fulfilled? What are the longings of my heart? Do I think I've gotten to the point where if God was to say, look, son or daughter or father, mother, come and rest in my bosom, how will I be in that coffin? Will I be smiling knowing I lived my life? Will I be frowning knowing I lived an unfulfilled life? Because remember, dreams buried alive never dies. I'll take that again. Dreams buried alive never dies. They follow us to our graves. What about that book that we long to write? What about those experiences of our life that we felt like another person could go through them and it could shape their desires, shape their decisions, build in a set of discipline for their life? But we failed. We have not done it. What about those places that we dreamt of? Like, I will go there, I want to see this place, I want to experience this, I want to experience that. What about those musics we never sing? The world is never going to hear them because you didn't sing them, because I didn't sing them, because the next people around us didn't sing them. What about those discoveries? What about that school where as a parent you felt like this is how children should be raised in a community? You have all this embodiment of curriculum that could shape the minds and the destiny of young people, but we wake up every day and go through life in quiet desperation. And we give ourselves all these amazing excuses. No, I don't have time. No, my job. No, I have a family to feed. My health. But come to think about it. What if indeed the Lord was to call us today? While lying in that coffin and people view us, what are those questions we ask ourselves? Let's not forget we have only one life to live, and we only live once. I guess it's high time that we begin to take our time. We begin to live life intentionally. We should have a roadmap. We should have a roadmap, I beg your pardon. We should seek out for mentorship. We should revisit our childhood, those periods where we could dream, where we had no limits that life could take us from, where we were not aware of the day-to-day realities and the challenges of life. As we navigate through this journey of life, for some of us, life has hit us so hard that we have stopped to dream. For some of us who still have that dream in our hearts, we don't have the courage to go about that dream. For some of us who have the courage that we even struggle to go about it, we don't do our best. We have lived a life of complacence. We are so mediocre in the things we get our hearts, our minds, and our hearts involved into, where we accept what life gives us and not what we can become. I want to challenge us today that it's time for us to go back. It's time for us to have quiet moments and we begin to revisit those dreams all over again. We begin to make those amendments. It might be that we unlearn some things. It might be that we relearn some things. It might be that we acquire some certain skill set. For some of us, it might be that we enroll in certain institutions. It might be that we take that bold step and we onboard that train, onboard that plane, make that call, apply for that, write that letter, reopen that diary, set those set of goals. For some of us, it might be working out on our heart. But personal growth, personal development is what we need as young people, particularly coming from Africa. We need to do 2, 3, 4 times harder than our peers around the world. Why? Because we come from backgrounds where from our government systems, from the families we grew up to, the environments we find ourselves, have conditioned us for failure. Just a very few majority of the young people can still hit their chest 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line and still hold on to a particular picture they had painted in the days of their childhood. We can dream again. We can dare to dream again. And above all, we can dare to make that dream become a reality. I'm on a personal journey for us, the young people, to dream again. Thank you very much for the time spent, for the kind attention. I am Mr. Cabrin Cyprian. I'm just here to challenge us as young people that indeed we can dream again. And indeed we can make that dream become a reality. Follow me through on this podcast. We will be getting a lot of topics. We'll bring on set people that will be able to model through what it takes as an average African to dream again. Have an amazing day, have an amazing time, and dare to dream again.